Hey, what's going on, guys? VT here again with some more Little Big Planet karting beta shit. The public beta, yes, been playing a lot of it, and I finally got around to creating my own level. As you can see, that's what's going on here. Made my own race. I don't do a whole. I did a lot of Little Big Planet 2 shit, editing. I never really published a whole lot of good stuff, like just creative, but I don't have the patience and all that. So doing this, I forced myself to kind of get into this, and then it started to be more fun, and then frustrating, and funny, and it was a big clusterfuck of emotions. But anyway, I finally made something that I'm sort of proud of. But it was like just to talk to you about all this, because if you played any Little Big Planets before, the level creation is pretty crazy. Especially in Little Big Planet 2, they introduced all the new gadgets and everything, and all the different switches and triggers and all that shit. And guess what? There's twice as much now in Little Big Planet karting, like 3 or 4 more new sections just because of karting, which is awesome for everyone else, because I ain't going fucking near that shit. Alright, that shit is confusing as hell, and I don't have the patience to watch tutorials. I watched a few as I was making this, but man, like this creation thing needs some work. Because Little Big Planet 2 was pretty smooth. Once you got in the rhythm of things, you kind of knew what was going on. You could follow the logic and everything like that. And this was stressful. All right, you can't. In Little Big Planet 2, I was able to figure out a lot of things just by, very minimal trial and error. Common sense, minimal. Oh, this. Oh, that's where the problem is there. Okay, this not the case. Definitely not. All the things that are kind of hidden. I really think there should be more categories available in the Poppet, like right away, because it's sort of, some things you don't expect them to be there. Like the fences were in, like, adding fences to a track. I think, okay, go to a race, but there were other fences you could put elsewhere, and I'm like, okay, why can't you just all group that in one area? Yeah, there were some weird things in there. But anyway, I'm going to start going off a list of things that really bothered me. And in the background, just pay attention. This is all sped up. I didn't record all of my track creation because I want to save some surprises for the end, so you can see what it actually looks like. Because at the very end of this, I'm going to cut to new commentary. I'm going to record in a few minutes, and it'll show, me actually racing this course that I made. And it looks kind of shitty, but you're like, oh, that was cool. So as long as there's like 2 cool moments, I'm happy. But anyway, major issues with the creation in here. L2 and R2, number 1. Biggest piss off in the world. Holy fuck. Alright, L2 and R2 have always been, set as one thing, thinner, wider, up or down, depending on where you're at in Little Big Planet 2. And this, oh no. L2 and R2 can be up or down, usually, because you're scrolling around, you're up or down, and if you make some items or some object, it's up or down. But other times, it's left and right. Never consistent. Never. Alright? You will never know what it is until you start making objects and you accidentally do the wrong thing and then you fuck it up. And the worst thing is, there's very little actual snapping you can do to objects. Alright? There is an option for that. I didn't try it out because I saw it at the very end of the level, but it didn't look like it was actually going to help a whole lot. Okay? And L2 and R2, you really can't get fine adjustments in there. Alright? It's difficult. Very difficult. So that was a big problem. Also, you're editing in 3D space now. In case you didn't realize that, Little Big Planet 2, it was quote-unquote 3D because you could go up, down, but you could really only go the Z-plane, back and forward, was really just 3 planes. You didn't really have to worry about it a whole lot. They got a little complicated in there, but now it's literally 3D. You have, full rotations, and you'll see it going on in here. And that's a pain in the ass, because just like the L2 and R2 deal, you never know, up on the L stick and down on the L stick may not be up or down. It may be left and right rotation, it may be side to side rotation, It changes with every object you make. It's never consistent, which is terribly annoying. And that's the entire, however long it took me to make this level, I still would mess up because, you make an object and you look at it and it's like, okay, it tells me that L up, pushing the L up is going to rotate this backwards. Well, it didn't. So fuck you, beta, because it would move it to the left, and then I'd have to start all over again because there's no snapping to horizontal or vertical. So if you want to get an object perfect, you're probably not going to do it. It's going to take you a long time. So the fine adjustments and everything like that is really a pain in the ass. It truly is, and you really have to dedicate some time to figuring out. Yes, as I did get better, I did get faster. As you slowly move on, practice makes perfect. You get faster at these sort of things, but it takes a long time. All right, another thing, grouping objects, moving objects, stuff like that. These things that used to be very easy, ungrouping objects. It's a pain in the ass now. Trying to link objects together. A lot of the things in the beta may have been missing. Yes, we didn't have a whole lot to play with, which is why my level looks kind of bare, because I didn't want a bunch of fucking trees everywhere like everyone else's level, covering the whole damn thing. But they're just, it seemed like all the logic things were there, but there weren't bolts, screws, anything like that. There was a piston. I used the piston, but none of that other stuff was really there, and that was kind of... it felt like a few things were really missing from Little Big Planet 2 in this. And with that, you feel like you can't do as much because you don't really understand. So again, it takes a lot of this to get used to. It really does. And of course, there are a shit ton of new elements to get used to with Little Big Planet karting, such as the spawn points, the weapons, the jetpacks, how to use the grapple and grabinator, which it's really cool. For the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory. It shows you the path, that's really nice, but trying to fine-tune them, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle a lot trying to make it just how you want it to be. The whole creation itself. I should have talked about this at the beginning. The track creation. If you ever played Mod Nation Racers, it's gonna look fucking familiar. I'm sure you've already noticed that. This is 7 minutes in, just about. Yeah, it looks about the damn same because it practically is the same, but. And at first I was really discouraged because Mod Nation, I want to make some badass shortcuts. Well, it didn't really let you do that. But luckily they sort of, in a way, kind of finagled and flinkled their way into being able to do that. You can still make separate paths. Like you see, I made a separate path here. It kind of branches out left and right and comes back together. Not so even on either side. It's okay. But then there are other paths you can do too, where you can go out of the course and all that, and that's really what I was looking for, Go out of the course, make your own road, just do some crazy shit, and that's really going to bring about some awesome levels. Definitely some badass shortcuts. I'm a huge fan of karting games because of, they're not like real racing games. They have shortcuts. They're fun, I love taking ridiculous shortcuts and just beating people by like 50 seconds, which is the shit. But this game is going to take a lot of getting used to, and I've played a lot of community levels, and there's some people that have this shit down, already, which is pretty impressive. And then there are some people that don't know what the hell they're doing, and then there are people in the middle, which is more like me. I'm probably about 50-50, but yeah, like general concept of the creation is it's gonna take you a lot of practice to get into, and you're eventually going to get better. But fine-tuning will always be an issue, and that's just something I'm going to stand by. People you're going to put a lot of fucking time into getting things exactly perfect, lining up with the course. They have a snap to ground, but that's the only snap thing that really seems to work. Trying to make it so you don't spawn outside of, on the bottom side of a jump. That's very confusing, and a lot of the tutorials actually don't cover some of these things. So that's definitely a pain in the ass. But the cool thing is you can make your own shortcuts. You can really have your fun with it if you really know if you can put the time in to figure out what you're doing. You can make some amazing stuff. There's a lot of options, more options than I ever thought there would be or could be. Progress, position, stuff like that. It's really quite cool, and it's gonna bring out some awesome stuff. But beyond race creation, there's also arena creation, and you don't see any of that in here because it's essentially the same concept, but you just try and kill people. The thing is whenever you make an object and you try and continue making more objects, they're all linked together, which is stupid. It's just so fucking stupid that, I had this tons of times, and this goes for the race part. This goes for all creation. Let's say I make a square. There's a square, and I want to put a hole in the middle. All right, I cut a hole in the middle. I want to make a triangle off of this, all right, but I want to turn it at 90 degrees to the square. Well, if I don't back out completely out of the poppet and everything, that every time I try and rotate that triangle 90 degrees, it's going to take the square with it. They are connected, and it's a real pain. It's not smooth at all to edit these sort of things and make your own creations. It isn't. It sucks, you know. And then, of course, everything's off balance and off keys. You have to back all the way, and you never know if something's perfectly horizontal, something was before. And, you know, they really need to work on making it smoother, making things, you know, fit into one another. And that's just going to take, hopefully that's what they found out with the beta, you know. Hopefully. I doubt it, but, you know, maybe after the game comes out and they get some feedback for it, we'll see. But other than that, like, the creation is really sweet. It's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend you, if you get this game, that you take some time to explore it a little bit, you know, a little more than like 30 minutes. You're going to need like 2 hours to get into it and finally get the hang of it, because as soon as I started going, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great, you know. I did enjoy it, and I'm not the most creative person in the world, but I thought I had some pretty good ideas, and it was a lot of fun. So, anyway, I'm going to cut this off and start a new com for walking you through my own custom race. So here it is, and if you couldn't wait that long, you know, to listen to all my bullshit before, you're finally coming in now, fuck you, and enjoy this race. And this is probably going to be the only thing I publish until the game comes out, and if there's a Platinum 4th, then I might publish some more shit, but no. So enjoy, guys. Hey guys, before we take a look at my little track there, you should appreciate the cart. Put a few decorations on there. It's pretty pimpin', you know. But anyway, so here we go. My Earth, Vengeful Avenue. Gotta go with the Vengeful. I was gonna call it Vengeful Track, but it sounded a little, I mean, it's VT, but it, yeah, you know, it just didn't seem to flow. So here we go. Got the, you know, this is like probably the most work I've put into a level ever, honestly, because, you know, I put foliage and pretty much whatever I had around. Like I said earlier, you know, there's not a whole lot of options, decorations, and stickers and stuff in the beta, so it's kind of limited. But hope you enjoy it nonetheless. You can see there I just took what seems like a shortcut. It actually takes longer to go that way, but you can substitute for a weapon. I like to get that weapon at the start. It's nice defense, you know, and then when it takes off in front of me, I usually can counter him. And you saw earlier that those green buttons will actually drop down traps on the other side to block people on the other side. So I thought that was pretty cool. Got my nice jump here, VT in the air, and you're going to see me take a nice shortcut here. Now this is actually a pretty badass shortcut, and I'm pretty proud of it because it took a lot of tweaking to get right. Hit it perfect, hit the rewinds. I mean, things are going well, and I'm almost at the end here. As you can see, it's kind of a, you know, it's a long track, but if you can take it right, it's actually, you can actually fly right through it. And there's one lap down. Man, I put so much work in this, and then you're going to see me head left, and this is why it's faster. I've got all these jetpacks in here. You hit that nice, it gets a nice boost, and you can fly right through there. You know, it all depends. That's why I really like karting games, is, you know, you might be the fastest one out there, but if you really don't know how to play the level, then you know, you're not going to place well. And you know, I went left this way just because it's faster. Hit that just in case. Not really going to block anyone, but it's alright. Like I said earlier, one of the issues I have is the spawn points. Sometimes if you get killed in the midair there, you'll actually die and be respawned down in those trees, which is really a pain in the ass, and I don't know how to fix that. There's no tutorial on it or anything yet, so it's a real pain. I didn't take the shortcut that time because I wanted to show you what else was there, so you guys can see the whole track. Coming up on the third lap here, and you know, there's not a whole lot left, but you know, this game it really is a lot of fun, especially when you're playing something that you put a lot of work into and made. And it's really great, and you know, you figure out how to shoot weapons backwards, thing and forwards, and all that stuff. And this game is more than just a standard card game. It's, you know, it's more than Mod Nation is too, because it's, you know, Mod Nation was the, you know, very general kart, and this is like just another step up, it seems. But yeah, you know, there's some levels out there already that are really really well done with such limited things, and I really look forward to seeing some of those people's true creations after, when the full game comes out. You probably won't see that much from me. This is probably the most creative it's going to get for a long time, but I hope you guys enjoy it anyway. You can see I messed up really bad right here. I don't hit that launch pad enough. Luckily, thought I got that, you know, I can get the fence, I get rid of the fence on there so I can drive down, but I get barraged with missiles here, and then someone passes me, just a shortcut. You know, that's what shortcuts are there for, to pass people. So I do end up getting second. Don't come back. It's alright. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope my recommendations commentary earlier, you know, I put a lot of thought into this, especially as I was going through this. So let me know if you want to see more. I will pick up this game, and I plan on doing community levels that I really like a lot. Probably once a week once the game comes out, hopefully, or something like that. I'm not sure yet. So if you plan on getting this game, you know, keep that in mind. If you work on a lot of levels, let me know. I might feature you for a week on YouTube or something. Alright? So like, comment, rate, subscribe. Take it easy, guys. Thanks.